Welcome to Underground Crypto Deep Dive Research Show. Got another great one for you today. Matter of fact, let's bring that up real quick. Bang! This is what we're going to be talking about today. If you were wondering, how are we going to raise that crypto IQ today? Well, atomic multi-chain transactions, often called AMCs, represent one of the most important breakthroughs for the future of cryptocurrency. And on a day like today, where we are down, trending down, and that's putting it nicely, definitely want to talk about something cutting edge, talk about something exciting in crypto. So let's go ahead and do that. Where's my chat at? I don't have my chat up. It's not very often that I start the show and don't have the chat up. Let me take a look here. We got Camsta in the house, that one guy in the house, and Melissa. That's all we got here so far. I know that crypto is hurt, so it might take people a minute to come in. So let's talk about these crypto bubbles right here. Turn this music down just a hair. All right, so everything red. It's been one of those days. Got Telcoin down 18.6% just today. A lot of things getting crushed. Is it the final shakeout? We'll take a look at it later. It did when we pulled our fib the other day on the much larger time frame, I believe on the daily, and I think we just almost hit the 786. So, you know, if we have any bullish in the bigger long term, maybe we will be moving out of this at some point, but it could take weeks, you know what I mean? It could be into next year, or it could be over, and this could be the beginning of the long bear market. We will have to see. That's hilarious. We're playing a game of limbo with the crypto market. How low can you go? Actually, the whole financial system seems to be in a correction. Yeah, it's not just crypto. It's the 53rd. It's the 53rd. The 53rd. I don't think you're supposed to say it like that. Shakeout is upon us. Hallelujah. It is hilarious. Okay, he did correct it. Yeah, it's hilarious. Fast token down a bunch. Eden down a bunch. A little bit of green in the hour, but it's not much. It's not looking good. How many people, but here's the real testament. How many people would still come to the stream? How many people would still care to raise their crypto IQ? I've seen this thing one too many times. Like, I've seen this movie. It's a replay. Will there be an alternate ending? I don't know. But I've seen this whole everybody gets terrified, we take a huge retrace. If you just look at the percentage and not the number, this retracement is not unusual. All right, we're caught up on the chat. 86,900 for Bitcoin. Ethereum, 2,864. Under that 3,000. I was hoping we could avoid that, but apparently we could not. It's not enough fear, right? One person explained the Fibonacci's to me one time, like the 78, the 50, you know, 786. Like, think of them like the percentage of fear, right? So when you hit that 786, like that's 78% fear in the, you know, in the range. I don't know. It helped me understand the fibs a lot. So XRP, $2. BNB, $871. Solana, $134. Tron, 28 cents. Dogecoin, 15 cents. Cardano, 43 cents. Hyperliquid, $38.22. Chainlink, $13.14. XLM, 23, almost 24. Monero, 348. That thing's come down quite a bit just since yesterday. Avalanche, $13.92. HBAR, 13 cents. And Sweet, $1.51. Are they just pulling it down so that they can get some prices before the go? That's what the Hopium would like to tell us, but I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that's what it is. Let's look at the Fear and Greed Index, right, on a day like today. It's very interesting that it went up today. Yesterday it was 11. I swear they changed the numbers, though. Now it's saying 7 days ago it was 16. I don't think it was. I think it was 15. Or maybe it's the average of 7 days and the average of a month. Maybe. Maybe that's what they're trying to say here. And yeah, we're at 14. Who would have saw that coming? It would go up a little bit, but yet the market would go down. I don't know how there could be less fear. There's just less people. Stock market fear and greed is at 6. LOL. Yeah, they do react a lot more, right? We're a little more hardened over here in crypto. Never seen it go to 6 before. Last time was the Great Depression, ? Hey, maybe we have a huge black swan event coming in the very short-term future, and there's some people who know about it much ahead of time. Could be. Not saying that's the case. I don't actually know. Let's go look at what's trending. But I will say, I think I started to say, but I don't know if I finished. You know, the people who care and still further their education in whatever manner, whether it's self-education or watching a show like this or something else, they tend to be the people who win. That's what I've seen. The ones that have conviction when everybody else loses their conviction, basically, is the best way to say it. Those people tend to win. Not financial advice. Nothing I ever say or do is financial advice. That is my personal opinion. Trending. Bitcoin is trending. How about that? Does that make you feel good? ETH, 6,900. Don't think I've seen that one yet. We'll have to take a look at that. Tensor. I always think of BitTensor, but it is not BitTensor. Adele Grass up 75% today. Oh no, in the last 7 days, sorry. Yeah. That's quite a bit. I wonder what Grass is at. I might take a peek at that real quick. That one guy in the house, thank you for being here on a day like today. We have to be close to the bottom. Yeah, Camsta. I hope so. At the same time, I've seen people say that all the way to, you know, the bottom of the bear market. Nylon. Very interesting. We'll go take a look at what's trending over on Crypto Rank first. All right, there it goes. Solana's trending. A lot of big things are trending just because they're down, I guess. Oh, wow, it just changed completely. Decred, BitTensor, XRP, Monero, Tron, ICP, like these are all big projects. These are not like new projects, right? Story, ticker IP, Fast Token, the Graph, SWI. You know, they're trending probably for all the wrong reasons though, right? BTC, Bitcoin, Monads, Darknet, Ethereum, Solana, Aster, Datagram, and GAIB, Aztec, Canton Network, Allura, Bob, Self Protocol. The Self Protocol and GAIB are stuff we looked at yesterday. Aztec and Datagram we looked at the day before. So we're all on top of this, even when nobody's paying attention. Now, will any of those projects ever matter in the grand scheme of things? I don't know. Time will tell on that one. But I did go ahead and already tease our subject of the day. Maybe you saw it. Maybe you missed it. Just going to pull it up. We will come back to what's trending. I am changing the show up just a little bit, guys. We're going to go over well, normally I want to go over the crypto IQ raise and stuff a little earlier, but it almost seems a little too early right this second. We're missing a few people, so I may hold off for just a second on it. But we can still pull it up and take a look at it and not go over the whole thing. So here's an introduction to why AMC matters. And what is AMC? Atomic multi-chain transactions, often called AMCs, represent one of the most important breakthroughs for the future of crypto. They aim to solve one of the hardest problems in blockchain: how to execute a single transaction across multiple different chains with complete safety, perfect coordination, and all or nothing guarantees. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? And that would be, you want to have a single transaction across multiple different chains. Well, when chains can speak to each other in a natively in their native languages, right? We call that atomic. All right, Blues Guy rolling in. What's up, Blues Guy? Thank you for being here. Glad to see you all. Underground, hello, brother. What's up, man? I appreciate you being here. Gratitude as always in sending love from the Blues Guy. Gotta have the Blues Guy here. I was about to get started on some of this stuff, and then I was like, wait a second. The Blues Guy is not here. So we're going to hold off on this for just a second, but I wanted to tease it a little bit. I'll do a little bit more of our what's trending. It was a project I wanted to take a look at. ETH 6900. 43.1 million in market cap. 1 billion tokens in both the max and the circulating supply. Max chart says this thing has been around since November 19th, which was yesterday. Had a bit of a pump from, say, from 4 cents up to 11 cents, and now we've given it all back, right? Pretty much all of it has been given back. It has, of course, an Ethereum contract address, and it's a meme. That really shouldn't surprise anybody, being called ETH 6900. No, they flipped everything upside down here. That's annoying, actually. About the token, introducing ETH 6900, a groundbreaking new asset. That's interesting for a meme coin to say. That is set to redefine how we think about trading and market dynamics. I don't know how they're going to pull that off. Inspired by the ebbs and flows of traditional stock market, ETH 6900 offers a unique and innovative opportunity for investors looking to capitalize on the evolving landscape of finance and DeFi. I wouldn't trust this thing very much personally, but you do what you want to do. Looks like there's a game here. Okay, it's starting. This is like Mario Kart meets... Oh, wow. Oh, I'm supposed to use those. I was using WASD, and it was the regular arrow key function here. This is hilarious. I have no idea why they have this on here. Maybe just because it's such a small game nowadays, you know? And I just went ahead and took the dive there because I didn't really want to play that. What is going on here? We got like some old school Mario Kart. This is hilarious. I'm getting whooped. It's been a long time since I've seen this kind of graphics. Well, I'm not sure why I'm playing this, probably just because it was in front of me and I love some games. So, although like I like DeFi games, play to earn gets my attention. I don't really play many video games. I don't ever have the opportunity. Anyways, we're going to kill that, right? Because we could get a little lost there, but that was kind of cool. Definitely has like the like degen, like 90s era kind of vibe there. I'm not sure. It's a very simple promotional video though. What's going on in this chat? Said Underground loves some games. Yeah, it's true. Guilty. All right, this is 69 ETH 6900. I just wanted to take a look at it. It seems like nothing. Let's actually look at their Twitter and see how much attention they're getting. Yeah, okay. This is everything I thought it would be. They have 28 followers. I don't know if I've ever seen a project trending with that few followers. It's pretty bad. I have more followers than that. That's sad. And I get no traction on Twitter most of the time. Because you know how it goes on Twitter. If you're not... I mean, clickbait is one thing. What they do on Twitter is just, like, ridiculous, right? They just say, like, the craziest, most outlandish stuff. Which is it's clickbaiting, of course. But it's clickbaiting to, like, another level. And I don't really like making posts like that. Anyways, not a whole lot here on what's trending on a day like today. It's not really surprising, right? What do we got over here? I did see a couple of things I wanted to talk about. I don't think I saw any new tokens here. Allura, we've been over a bunch of times. Self Protocol. What was Self Protocol again? So Self Protocol is a company that provides digital identity infrastructure for both Web 2 and Web 3 environments. We're just going to do the quick rundown of a few things here because we spent quite a bit of time on it yesterday, and because of that, I don't want to spend too much time on it, right? Shout out to anybody running in. The Discord link is in the description. Grab the one actually in the chat. I don't know why Crypto Rank does this. All right, here we are. Then we have GAIB. GAIB is an economic layer for AI computation future. Compute future is what it actually says. Maybe you'll recognize the website. They had this very pixelated, low quality spinning ring. Why, I have no idea, but that they did. I think that's supposed to be their symbol. It's very, very low budget there. Bringing AI infrastructure economy on chain. Join AID and SAID for real yield. It's all about yield, right? Isn't that like the only things that are really doing much in crypto right now? It seems like everybody just wants to have a stable coin that produces some yield. Bob is built on Bitcoin. Allura is abstraction. Allura is a self-improving decentralized network. Let's see, on their website, I felt like they gave a better rundown. We were just quickly going through this. 33 million in their market cap, the abstraction layer for intelligence. And it is on what ecosystem? Base, BNB, and Ethereum ecosystems, respectively. All right, so let's talk about the topic of the day. All right, and because this requires seriousness and focus, I'm gonna go ahead and sit down. Also, I had a feeling viewership would be down today. Everybody's licking their wounds. I mean, they were wounds. Now they're like, you know, unclosable wounds, not to be overly graphic. Where I was going with that was probably going to be a little too graphic. Anyways, introducing AMC And I'll read the first paragraph again for anybody who wasn't here, but this is the topic of the day. This is how we're going to raise our crypto IQ on a day like today, where everybody is kind of down on the market. You see it across social media. Maybe you're not feeling that way. Personally, if you're here, you're probably not absolutely being destroyed in the market, but a lot of people, when they get bitter against crypto, they don't participate in crypto YouTube, right? Anyways, that's why we're here. Atomic multi-chain transaction, often called AMCs, represent one of the most important breakthroughs for the future of crypto. They aim to solve one of the hardest problems in blockchain, which, this makes a lot of sense. How to execute a single transaction across multiple different chains with complete safety, perfect coordination, and all or nothing guarantees. Blues Guy says he's not down. My spirit is way up. That's what I like to hear. It's a sign that you've been here in the market for a while when this type of price action doesn't absolutely ruin your mood and how you feel about crypto. In simple terms, an AMC makes multiple blockchains behave as if they were one unified environment, at least for the duration of the transaction. I feel like that is really what we all hope the industry turns into. I was going to say the market, but I'm not talking about like the prices and stuff. The actual tech is what we really hope it all turns into, so that we can use the best parts, right? The most advanced parts of every chain as if they were one big chain. I got to get that herbal tea in there for all this talking, right? Should have put some honey in it. In simple terms, okay, that's what we just did. This means a single action can touch several chains at once, and either every part. It's such a weird way to say that. Am I tripping? Is that like a normal way to write that? And either every part succeeds. Oh, okay, I get what they're saying. So either every part succeeds or nothing happens at all. AMCs are a core building block for the next era of Web3, where users shouldn't have to think about which chain they're using, where the capital, data, or contracts move seamlessly across networks. This really seems like that intent layer, that ANOMA, that account abstraction, wallet abstraction, that whole idea, right? We were just talking about Allura, which is all about abstraction. This is very much an abstraction type of thought, right? Nobody should have to worry about how it works. They should just be able to use it. What atomicity? I've never had to say that word. That's crazy. Means in blockchain. This has been a lot of fun so far. So atomicity. I am not saying that right. That's crazy. Is guaranteed that a transaction is indivisible, right? Inside a single chain, atomicity is easy. Ethereum can guarantee that all steps inside a transaction succeed together. Solana can guarantee the same within its parallel execution environment. Atomicity. I don't know why that's just bothering me, but how do you say that? That is messing with my brain. That's hilarious. Does anybody else find that word hard to say? Because you have atomic, but then you have itty. It's messing with me. All right, moving on, because I could get stuck on that easily. Inside a single chain, atomicity is easy. Okay, we did that part. Ethereum can guarantee that all the steps inside a transaction succeed together. Solana can guarantee the same within its parallel execution environment. But a cross-chain atomicity, becomes extremely difficult. Each chain is independent, with its own mempool, its own block producers, its own timing, and its own finality. Atomic multi-chain transactions, I'd rather just say that, bring atomicity to the multi-chain world. Without AMCs, a cross-chain activity is always fragmented, risky, and exposed to partial failures. Of course, that word was ridiculous, and they put it like 500 times in there. No, I'm the only one. Atomicity. Ah, man, I'm so over this word. Why atomic breaks across blockchain, right? Multiple chains means different. This is just kind of pointing out all the different things that are different from one chain to another that you have to get to work all together as one unified thing. It's pretty difficult. I mean, a lot of them don't even use the same coding languages, right? Different finality mechanisms, it's finalizing a transaction. Different validators, that would be validating a transaction. Different block times, different consensus rules, which that's a big one to try to tackle. No built-in communication layers, no shared memory, no shared sequencing, no shared rollback mechanism. Like I said, chains being able to talk to each other well is what atomic really means. Atomicity, Atomicity. I don't know. My brain doesn't want to say it. Like, I get it on paper, Camsta, but like my brain does not want to say it. So, if one chain executes part of multi-chain operations and another chain fails or delays, the first chain cannot reverse its state to fix the inconsistency. Wow, I am messed up trying to say that other word. Inconsistency. So if one chain executes part of the multi-chain operation, right, and another chain fails to make it happen, the first chain cannot reverse its state to fix that inconsistency, which is a problem. I think this is the whole crutch, right? This is the whole big deal of the whole thing is it's got to go, the transaction has to execute across all the chains flawlessly. And if one of them doesn't act right, which if you've ever dealt with anything with technology and code, it's bound to happen. Then what do you do? So I don't even know. What do they do if that happens? This makes traditional cross-chain action dangerous. AMCs exist to eliminate this entire category of risk. Well, I guess they could just cancel the transaction, right? If it doesn't, if all the things... Why would a chain fail or delay? They're talking about the transaction. Why would a chain fail or delay? They're talking about the transaction going across multiple chains. So like say you had a transaction and it was complex. It had stuff to do on Ethereum. It had stuff to do on Solana. It had stuff to do on like a random chain like Harmony 1, you know? 1 is the ticker. Harmony is the chain. Like just there's a bunch of random small chains. Maybe then it turns around and it finishes on, you know, Avalanche. Well, all of those use different things. God forbid Cardano's in the mix there. They use something totally different. And it would be very easy for one of them to fail or to not understand how to execute because of what they're being given from another chain that uses a totally different type of code, totally different, you know, consensus mechanism. The way it's even organized on the other chain is completely different. So when the information is sent to the next chain, it has to be organized in a way. It almost has to go through like a translator, right? It needs to be organized in a way that that chain can understand it, break it down, and use it. Does that make sense? It says, what transaction would you be doing, just buying or selling? I mean, there's a plethora of different transactions. Some transactions would, you know, be buying and selling maybe of something in a gaming protocol, you know, that spans across multiple chains. I think most of the time these type of transactions that would really be AMCs would probably be very financial, right? Like bridge this over here, swap it into this, and then let's stake it on a different chain, you know, and then it makes all that happen. That's kind of the next evolution of all the different blockchains, right? That you can just flawlessly work apart. I mean, Anoma we've covered a lot. The whole point of it is the intent layer, right? Like the ChatGPT, but actually functional ChatGPT, a blockchain where you could just give it a multi-stack different transactions, maybe a list of transactions in the order that you want them to happen, and then give it to it and it just does it for you, without you having to figure out like what bridge you want to use, or like, you know, what you want to swap it in, what has the lowest fee. Like say you want to send money, you know, across multiple chains and end up somewhere else, and you want it to end up in USDT, right? But you don't want to pay the fee for USDT in the multiple transactions or whatever that would happen throughout the different chains for whatever reason. So like maybe because I've had to do this where like I wanted to get to a certain chain, right? But the chain I was in, you couldn't swap directly, a bridge directly to it. So I had to bridge to a different chain, to bridge to a different chain, to then bridge to the chain that I wanted, if that makes sense. Because the infrastructure didn't exist. That's why I'm always saying that you never really care much, retail, I'm talking about retail, never cares much for all the, infrastructural, financial tools, bridges, swaps, stuff like that until you need to use them. And then all of a sudden you just like, I have no idea how to move my money across to different chains. And that's what the intent layer or even these AMCs would provide, because these AMCs would be what was happening in the background of something like Anoma. Hopefully that makes sense. AMCs allow users, protocols, and AI agents to perform complex actions across multiple networks. And this is another really good point, right? Because you're saying kind of like, what would somebody be doing that they would like need to move across all these chains? Well, think about AI agents. AI agents would probably be doing some complex things. They'd need it to happen quickly if they're trying to take advantage of price actions or stuff going on. Almost like MEV, right? Maximum extractable value. And if those AI agents were trying to execute, they might need to go across all kinds of different chains. And then you got to think for maximum extractable value, you might put together strategies that really require you to go across multiple chains, right? In order to really get the full value or make the most money, right? So borrow collateral on chain A. And here's a good example. I like that they gave us an example here, right? So borrow collateral on chain A, move it to chain B so that you could swap it to chain C and stake it on chain D. And even though that looks like, why would you ever do this? Once you get into it, there are applications where you would need to do this. I've had to do stuff like this. All inside one atomic all or nothing multi-chain operation. This unlocks multi-chain DeFi strategies, and that's what I was just trying to explain there with the AI agents or the maximum extractable value MEV. You could come up with strategies that are even more elaborate, maybe even more profitable, that use multi-chain strategy, right? So cross-chain arbitrage, it's like the same thing. Cross-chain liquidations, cross-chain NFT operations, multi-chain DAOs, multi-chain gaming. That would be very interesting, multi-chain gaming. If you had multi-chain gaming and you needed transactions to fire off and work like quickly to keep up with gameplay, you'd really need some AMCs. I buy in Wealth Simple and send my XRP to MEXC to buy coins I don't have access to on Wealth Simple. Okay. And now you started, and then imagine the coin that you're buying over that you couldn't buy on Wealth Simple, right? You're buying it on MEXC, which is a little bit different because MEXC is not necessarily, well, the problem with MEXC is that you have to authorize the transactions and stuff on MEXC. So I don't think that blockchain would be able to do that, right? They'd have to have all your passwords, all your codes and stuff in order to execute that. And it would probably show up as a bot or something on their radar, and they'd probably kill the transaction anyways. I don't know if they really allow you to do that type of stuff. But I do get what you're saying. But then imagine you were going to take that thing that you bought and you were going to go stake it somewhere else. And imagine that MEXC wasn't a centralized exchange, but a decentralized exchange. If you were doing it on a decentralized exchange, it would make more sense. AMCs bring true composability to blockchain. So how AMCs actually work, 3 different models. So they don't just work one way, right? They work multiple different ways. So there are 3 main designs for atomic multi-chain execution. I also wanted to get into this quicker because there's quite a bit to cover here, right? So first you have hash-timed mechanism, what they call ATLCs, light client-based atomicity. Atomicity? I don't know. I'm going to get it somehow. I need to hear somebody say it. That's my problem. Shared sequencers and shared provers, the future of AMC. You ever have a word you just like can't say because it's the first time you ever had to read it? Yeah, that's where I'm at here. So there's 3 different ways that this works. And the first one is hash time mechanism. Now, as we've been doing a lot of these deep dives lately, we're getting a little bit more complicated, right? They're compounding. I tried to start with simpler topics, right? I tried to start with stuff most people were going to be able to use that knowledge to understand this type of stuff. So, the original method for cross-chain atomicity, here's how they work. Both chains lock funds at the same hash. One side reveals the secret. The reveal triggers the unlock on the other chain. If something goes wrong, both sides refuse after a timeout. Very useful historically, but extremely limited today. It's slow, it requires trust and timing, has poor UX, which UX very much like, the person using its experience. Only works well for swaps. Modern crypto has outgrown this approach. So the first method they kind of give you here is dated, is kind of what they're trying to say here. Then you have light client-based atomicity. This is where chains verify each other's state using light clients. This allows a chain to use cryptographically verify whether a transaction happened on another chain, whether the transaction was finalized, or whether the state transaction is valid. This enables trust minimized atomicity. Examples include IBC, Rainbow Bridge, and some advanced roll-up bridges. Here are the limitations of this though. Heavy engineering, it's expensive, and it requires mutual support, but it's one of the safest modern approaches. Then we have shared sequencer and shared provers, the future of AMC. So this seems to be the more advanced way, right? So this is the most promising path. Here, multiple chains share the same sequencer or the same ordering service or the same proving system. So say that again. Multiple chains share the same sequencer, same ordering service, and same proving system. A shared sequencer can enforce multi-chain transaction ordering, multi-chain atomicity, guaranteed inclusion, guaranteed rollback if one fails. A lot of guarantees there. You see why this would be more useful. Shared proving systems can validate cross-chain conditions cryptographically and atomically. This is the ultimate direction for crypto. The multi-chain world becomes a single atomic execution fabric, right? It all just becomes one thing. It's all interweaved. Think about like a fabric, right? It's a bunch of threads that are interweaved with each other. Projects working on this include Espresso, Asteria, Radius, Fairablock, Succinct, Modulus, Risk Zero, and Hyperlane. This is where AMCs become fast, trust minimized, and broadly available. Why AMCs are critical for the future of crypto. AMCs solve the fragmentation problem, which is a big problem. Today, every chain is its own island, every rollup its own environment, every ecosystem has its own liquidity, users bridge and swap constantly. Capital inefficiencies get scattered across chain. AMCs unify this into one coherent system. I thought this was actually pretty good of giving you kind of insight into like why this is so important. Of course, every chain being its own island and every rollup being its own environment. We think about this one more than this one. But at the same time, like, the liquidity factor is a big deal, and capital inefficiencies, they get scattered across chains. So this is a great solution. This means capital efficiency skyrockets. Users stop worrying about which chain they're going to use, right? Projects become instantly multi-chain. Liquidity becomes fluid. Cross-chain bots operate safely. DeFi becomes unified global market. Rollups gain shared composability, and agents can act across networks seamlessly. AMCs are the hidden infrastructure that Web3 has been missing. Examples of what AMCs enable, and this is something that we kind of already covered: cross-chain arbitrage, instant arbitrage between chains without bridge risk; cross-chain lending, cross-chain NFT flows; and AI agent automation. Agents can rebalance positions, liquidate opportunities, move funds, hedge, run multiple chain strategies, all without risk of partial failure. Cross-chain DEX aggregation. Decentralized exchange aggregators can tap liquidity from multiple chains safely and atomically. That's a big deal, for sure. If you're trying to get a transaction to go through on a decentralized exchange, maybe you're trying to get out of a really tiny coin, and it can't fill it on where it's at, but it could pull, right, from multiple different chains to fulfill. That would be very useful to you if you were trying to get out of something. I do appreciate you asking questions, though, Camsta, because a lot of times it's crickets when I go over this stuff. DAO operation across chain. Votes, treasury, actions, and protocols. Changes across multiple blockchains can be coordinated atomically. So the biggest technical challenges: AMCs must solve several real challenges. Finality differences. One chain finalizes in seconds, but another one in minutes. Atomicity requires coordinated timing. Failure handling. If one chain stalls, the whole multi-chain batch must revert. All chains must agree on failure conditions. Multi-chain gas pricing. Different chains have different fee markets. AMC requires unified fee handling. That's something we haven't really touched on yet on this topic. Latency windows. Coordinating execution across chains introduces timing risks. Cross-chain MEV. AMCs create new MEV opportunities and require protections. I find this stuff really interesting. Maybe other people don't. I've said many times that even when nobody is here and nobody's excited about crypto, I will be here raising my crypto IQ. And this is such a great day. If anything, it's a very positive thing for me, because it's a good opportunity for me to prove that I will be here doing this, regardless of who's coming with me. And these things will compound. They already have. And the information will help me be a much more educated investor in the future and now, right? And it's already shown its fruit even as of lately. Real teams pushing the frontier. Shared sequencers. So this is like, it gave us a list of projects that are doing stuff, right? Like Espresso, Astria, and Radius. And to be honest, I keep seeing Espresso, and I don't know a ton about it. So I actually would really like to look at that. Let me get my notes here so I can write that down. Because what I really like is that this is super cutting edge, right? So a lot of these coins may be on to something that's going to prove useful as we move into the future. And even when the price goes down and the bear market comes in, projects keep building. You know, for the ones who really have a vision, who have something that they're trying to actually do, they're not going to quit just because we go into a bear market. The ones who were just here for money, and I'm not talking about people right this second, I'm talking more about actual chains, actual projects. The ones that were just here for money, they're going to leave or wait to come back, right? The ones that had a vision, they're going to grind out tech and code, and they're going to figure stuff out, keep moving, right? So shared sequencers, we did a whole show on shared sequencers, right? ZK multi-proven system, succinct, Risco, and Modulus. Can only imagine that Modulus is built, the consensus is very modular. Cross-chain framework, layer 0, v2, and Hyperlane. Interoperable ecosystem, Cosmos IBC, Polkadot's XCM, cross-chain DEX protocols, Thorchain, Squid, Catalyst. These systems represent the early stages of AMC. This is a very, cutting edge thing. It's not built out. It's not fully functional everywhere. It takes a lot of time and effort probably to come up with mechanisms to make all these chains work together. Then they have to be, hack-proof, tried and true. Liquidity has to be there. All markets have to be built around it. It's a lot, right? AMC will become the foundation of chain abstraction. That is what I said from the get-go. That is what really what it really made me think of. Sorry, I got distracted by the chat. Melissa says, stopped in to say hello, still driving home. Well, hello. Enjoy your ride home. I hope that it's traffic-free. I believe you're in the same time zone as me, so it's got to be like 9:20 where you are. Maybe I should have held off on going over this. I was trying to switch up and kind of go over the topic earlier in the stream. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but we tried it out today. It's good to try it out on a low, low interaction day. Or maybe not. Maybe it doesn't even matter to do it on a low interaction day. So AMCs will be the foundation of chain abstraction without a shadow of a doubt. Multi-chain DeFi, AI agent economies, parallel rollup execution, universal crypto UX, unified liquidity markets, multi-chain gaming worlds, modular settlement layers, and ZK-driven verification networks. AMCs make Web3 functions like a single global computer rather than a bunch of isolated servers. That's a good way to put it. I like the fabric analogy too. The end game, a total unified crypto world, right? In the end, AMCs point towards a world where, and before I even say this, think about the internet. I wasn't around when it came out, at least not old enough to use it, that's for sure. I don't know the exact day they consider it coming out, right? But it had to advance, it had to become more technologically advanced as you go, and there were networks behind it, aka the internet, and they got more advanced and more advanced and more advanced and more advanced to the point where you had abstraction, to where you just click things and they just worked. You didn't have to know how they worked. You didn't have to go to multiple websites. AMC is basically that for crypto. Users don't need to know which chain they're on. That's crazy. You think about wallets and moving money nowadays, you definitely need to know what chain you're on. You need to know what chain you're trying to use. Like if you're trying to do something and they want ETH coin, they want base layer 2 on Ethereum version of Ethereum, and that's all they take. Well, you better know what chain you're on when you go moving and swapping around or bridging in that situation there. So anyways, users won't even know what chain they're on. Wallets automatically route transactions across networks. Man, that would be so useful. I can't tell you the frustrations I've had in the past with that kind of thing. Rollups interoperate seamlessly. Chains share block space, data, and execution. Everything becomes composable. The multi-chain world becomes one atomic execution environment, powered by cryptographic guarantees and shared sequencing. When AMCs reach maturity, the chain layer disappears from the users, replaced by one cohesive cross-chain infrastructure. This is the future of crypto. If we get a bunch of people coming in later in the stream, I will reread most of this, but I won't be doing it right now, and I don't really foresee a large influx of people coming in. So with that being said, let's go take a look at a few things here. First, let's go take a look at our top gainers, top losers. Did I ever look at Floki yesterday? Let me take a look here. I want to look at Floki real quick. I know it's probably not still up today. All right, now I'm confused. Maybe you need the 7-day. Where is this big pump that they were talking about? Wasn't everybody talking about Floki yesterday like it did something? Am I tripping? Pretty sure Camsto was the one who was mostly telling me about it. Let me hop over in the Discord and see if I can't back it up. Yeah, here it is. Floki doing some damage. What is this? Went to 4 cents. Let's see, where are we at here? Yeah, whatever Floki they're talking about there is not the same Floki. Oh, okay. I see. I don't even know how to do that, to be honest with you. Yeah, Camsta, that Floki that you posted the other day, that is, I mean, it's a version of Floki. It's not the original version. I didn't catch it. It has that little line over the O. I don't even know if anybody is listening. So I won't harp on that too much. Not what I meant to do. I also wanted to look at this espresso. I've seen it around, but I don't really remember if I've deep dived it or not. So espresso, and then of course espresso bot looks like it's different. So it's in preview only. So this thing has no token generated event. That is why I probably haven't ever really gone over it, because it's probably not going to be in your top gainers, right? So building the best layer for rollups, unlocking fast and secure finality, cross-chain composability, that's kind of what we were just talking about, and Ethereum compatibility to power multi-chain future. So they have a vision of the future. 161.7 thousand followers for such a techie project. Yeah, that surprises me a little bit. So to interoperate, layer 2s need to communicate. Today, the most secure way for layer 2s to do this is pass message via the Ethereum 1. But that takes 15 plus minutes and costs money. I bet it does on Ethereum. For Interop to work well, layer 2s need to swap messages in seconds. Let's explore how we can make this possible. Composability is coming. Is this like no, it's not a live they're doing. Anyways, it has 750,000 views. For something so techy and tech driven, that really surprises me quite a bit. They did have like a call about it. I don't know who these people are. Maybe they're founders, maybe they're not. Everything slow today. So Saudi Arabia announces they're mining Bitcoin. Okay. I assume that's bullish. I haven't really sat down and thought that through, but I assume that's bullish. And let's pull up ChatGPT and ask it, what are the most important trending news topics in crypto for today? Also include anything that's trending across social media as far as projects. And we'll leave that cooking. We'll see what that comes up with. So on our top gainers, top losers, Tensor is up 159%. Now, we did look at this yesterday. It's at 21 cents. Wow. November 19th, which is yesterday, it was chilling at 4 cents, 0.39. And it ran as high as 29 cents. Gotta love that. That is some money right there. Some X's, if you will. 71.6 million in market cap, 1 billion tokens max supply, but most importantly, circulating supply 334.6 million. Got a Solana contract address, the Tensor Foundation, right? And don't believe this has anything to do with BitTensor, but I could be wrong. Let's go to about. Yeah, BitTensor is all about AI, right? Tensor Foundation facilitates community-led governance over Tensor protocol and helps the Tensor DAO, or the DAO, grow and develop the Tensor ecosystem. Tensor protocols are critical trading infrastructure for NFTs built on Solana, one of the only chains with the throughput, speed, and low fees necessary for mass adoption. Vector protocols, which is an interesting topic right there, are critical trading infrastructures for tokens across multiple chains, designed for the best-in-class decentralized trading UX experience, right? Best-in-class trading experience. Wow, they really don't give you much more. They kept it short and simple. External link to vector.fun. That's the Vector 2. So what is Vector? Vector seems like a big NFT, or it just looks like a launch pad. I don't know. They blurred it out. I can't really see through it. Let's see what they come up with on our news. Let's see what's going on. You know, one of the most interesting things here is that this crash and stuff doesn't seem to be news driven, which worries me a little bit, right? Because there's nothing to really point to and say this is why the market is going down. And on top of that, there is multiple other markets that are going down as well. And normally that would be very weird, of course, because they love to wrap news around it, right? Blame it on somebody and then have the people who are mostly responsible for it not really be looked at. But what's concerning to me is this whole connection, and I haven't spent enough time on it, really. It's kind of a newer thing between Epstein and Bitcoin, and people claiming that Epstein created Bitcoin and all of this crazy stuff, right? I haven't spent a ton of time with that, but I would say if that turns out to be true somehow, that he was very connected, will they turn around and use that? Because at the end of the day, at this point now, for where Bitcoin is, does it really matter if he had involvement in creating it? I don't know. It depends on what kind of information comes out. I'm not saying it does or it doesn't, right? It says Bitcoin is trading around 91,009 with visible outflows. Yeah, that's old news right there. That's how fast crypto moves. Whenever this was written, which was probably from November 17th. Why? ChatGPT kills me. How are you going to give me an article from November 17th when I clearly said today? Love it. Sometimes it does a great job. Sometimes it does not do a great job, right? So funding rates remain positive but modest. Suggests demand but not bullish frenzy. Okay, yeah. The takeaway here is Bitcoin and Ethereum under pressure. These are stupid headlines. XRP facing a decline amid whale activity. So XRP dropped 4% to $2.70 recently, with large holder whales reportedly selling. That's not a good sign, I guess, but whales do all kinds of things, right? Whales will do stuff like sell right now so that they get people to sell, and then they will buy back at the real bottom, right? Because large whales, especially when whales coordinate with each other, they almost create bottoms. They decide where the blood, stops. The drop is part attributed to the sell the news dynamic about the ETFs. Yeah, there you go. So after ETF related hype, now we have the ETF, and so everybody sells the news. As lame as it is, it makes sense. AI plus crypto narratives continuing to gain traction. I want more actual headlines and stuff. All right, it really didn't do a very good job pulling news. So stay up to date on crypto with whoever this is. I wouldn't trust it. Binance, XRP news today. Top 5 altcoins of 2025. Best investment now. I bet you that article's getting a lot of clicks right now. I'm just kidding. I think people are mostly out to lunch on that one. All right, so that was Tensor. It's our top gainer of the day. It's up 160%. I'm sure it's changed since I looked at it because this is crypto. Yeah, 153. Then this beat audio era is pretty much, it's just like Dance Dance Revolution, right? And they just kind of brought it back. I think it's silly, but it's been trending. It's been pumping. Beat. Dimension's been brought up a lot lately in a lot of our deep dives, actually, surprisingly enough. Throw that max chart on. It's been around for a really long time, since January 29th, 2024. It's a long time in crypto, and it's down 97.1%. You got to zoom out. People get excited about it being up 70%. It's down overall 97%. Doesn't mean you couldn't make money with it if it's going to start running up a little bit, but you have to remember like where this thing has been before. Let's look at market cap. This thing has been at, a billion plus, 1.2 billion, and now you're at 55 million. You got to think about how much money that is run out of this project. It's built on Cosmos. Very similar chains. I mean, they're pretty much the same thing in my book. And Dimension allows you to launch a token, so it's a launch pad for Cosmos, or Osmos. I don't even remember which one it was now. Which one was it? Cosmos, okay. Up or down? I mean, potato. Darn good potato. I mean, it's crazy, right? It's kind of crazy how lame a lot of those are. And darn good potato. Okay, how much market cap does it actually have? I just thought it was weird. It said 140,000. That's the fully diluted value. A lot of times that is much higher. Much higher than the actual market cap of a project. Camsta says drive safe, Mel. You must have stepped away from the computer, my man. That was a while ago. How's everybody feeling tonight? We covered our crypto IQ raising topic very early. I have a feeling that this is not going to be a long stream. Just with the way that the market is, how everybody's feeling. What is today? Wednesday? I feel like Wednesdays tend to be slower proportionally to what's going on. So I'm going to be just chilling for a second. I might play a couple crypto games. And I mean, in my book, we're accomplished, right? I've gone over what's trending. I've gone over top gainers, top losers. Or I was in the process of going over it. I'm still going over that. And we did our crypto IQ raising event for the day. Those are like my three, things I feel like I must do in every show. Everything else is pretty much bonus. What is XAI? Probably another meme coin. He says, I think it's time you try Europa Universals 5. Yeah, I would love to. Honestly, sounds fun. I have no idea when I would get to play it, though. Have to watch some gameplay on it. I see it pop up. Had to go read my son a bedtime story. He picked Spider-Man. That's cool, man. No shade. I wasn't throwing no shade at you. I understand we all have things to do. And on a day like today where it's not that exciting, it's the best time to honestly go do some other things. Like Lifer always says, go for a walk. When the market sucks and everything's bearish or whatever, if you want it to be bearish, sometimes everything's bullish. And it has the opposite effect, right? I have my phone where I can barely read it. Playing as the Byzantines now. Oh, Byzantines. Got you. It's amazing that I read stuff online all the day live because I suck sometimes at words when I've never seen them before. 49.4 million in market cap. I never won any awards in English class. Let's say it that way. XAI. 2.5 billion with 1.8 circulating supply. Max chart says this thing's been out for a while. Since January 10th, 2024. It is built on Arbitrum. And it's all about games, it looks like. Well, I wasn't excited until I saw that it was all about games. Then I'm like, oh, I actually would love this. Hunt, extract, win. Planet X is a free-to-play extraction shooter treasure hunter. Yeah, but is it crypto? That's where they kill me. Like, I'm all for video games. I love playing video games, but I really gotta have DeFi game, right? Like, there has to be some element, even if it's long-term, for me to earn something to play a lot of these games, unless they're just awesome, right? If they're just awesome games, then I might play them at some point. Oh wow, their trailer video is private. That's smart. Definitely make like your trailer video to your game, make it private so nobody can read it, right? Okay, I guess we'll pick lost glitches. Let's try another one. Also unavailable. All right, something's not right. Maybe this project they've given up on this project already. I don't know. Why is it pumping today? That's a good question. And Campsa, I'd love to hear or see more about that game. You know, Campsa, whenever you're playing, you could always hit at Underground Crypto and jump into the voice chat and stream it from your computer and show it to me. That would be pretty cool. I'd appreciate that. So Pepeon Tron. Okay, I see. It's Pepe on Tron. That seems like the most not exciting thing ever. If you go look at all the like Pepe, oh man. How many purple Pepe, yellow Pepe, old Pepe, new Pepe. It's stupid. I hate to say it because I love crypto, and the original Pepe and stuff was cool. Like, and to have like Pepe and like maybe like one other Pepe, sure, that's fine. But to have like 16 different Pepes is just so stupid. And it's probably a lot more than 16. You know, just right here, purple Pepe, Pepe Coin. Pepe Coin, the exact same name, but one's Pep and the other one's Pepe Coin. Well, which one do you buy? As a newcomer coming in, like, well, why would you pick one or the other? Ape and Pepe. You know, Pepe on Tron. Purple Pepe, yellow Pepe was one. So silly. Absolutely ridiculous, if you ask me. Where was that Keke space? See, I don't even know which Pepe built that other thing. You know, Keke space that we'd be playing. Let's see, can I get that to come up? No, I can't get it to come up. Yeah, I don't even know where that was. Which Pepe was it? I don't even know. I think it was this Pepe coin. Says you can build trading empires, you can colonize, you can become a trading giant. Definitely sounds like my kind of game, that's for sure. It's in the grand strategy genre. That's literally my favorite. I mean, strategy in general. There's a lot of strategies, right? Oh, I missed a bunch of chat, I guess. Yeah, once I learn it a little better, still a noob. Yeah, I understand. It takes with big games like that, it takes a while. Age of Empire, like, it's in the grand strategy genre. You pick any nation in 1333 and play up to 1833. Start the Victorian Age. You can colonize, you can build and trade empires, you can become a trading giant. You can even play as a Native American tribe and try to outcompete the invading Europeans. Sounds really interesting. So, this is not the one, that's for sure. You are not the one. Nintendo Wallet, you can use Nintendo Wallet. So all the different Pepes. Why am I looking at this? Because I kind of was trying to find which one had that game we were playing back in October. Yeah, Keke space. Cold Pepe, pepecoin.io. I think this is it. Dank memes, enjoyer. Yeah, this is it. This is one of the Pepe coins. There's two different projects that are called Pepe coin. So I don't even know which one they are. I was just kind of interested to see what they were doing now that October was over. Yeah, you expect focused in that time period only. Crusader Kings is their game before Age of Victoria 3, continues from where EU5 ended, and then after Victoria 3 comes Heart of Iron, where you play through World War II. Wow, they are just gonna walk you like right through all of history, right? Well, I at least remembered my login. I think it remembered my login. Maybe not. Most likely not. I love how they did this Windows thing, though. This Windows thing is hilarious and extremely original. I can't believe nobody else really thought to do this. What is going on here? Didn't do anything. Yeah, Paradox has a game for every time period. Yeah, I would imagine that they would. Keck space. That's why I was calling it Keke. It's just Keck space. Well, no point to miss out on this. Probably should build it up for a day or two first. But why not throw ourselves at it? Alpha test. Loading system. They even have a future space game called Stellarius. I think I literally downloaded that and never played it. And players have to start in a Crusader King and continue through the playthrough all the way to start. That's crazy. It's all real-time strategy, no turn-based. And that way it's like an AOE. I'll take you anywhere. Just tell me I'll be there. I don't know why I love these like so-called 2D metaverses or whatever. It'd be better if they were 3D. Can't wait till these things. I can't wait till these things start being like more virtual reality. Who knows? I might hate it once I actually play it, but the idea of it sounds pretty cool. See, I'm gonna go to where you went into the other thing before. I bet they got rid of it. No? They still have the area. It's very laggy. It's not just your screen, it's my screen too. Is there like a lot of people playing this or something? So wait, they still they still have the pumpkin patch? That's wild. I did not expect them to still have the pumpkin patch. Maybe they just want to make it so you're able to spend your candies, your acorn candies here. I probably should just buy stuff because what else am I gonna do with the acorns when they're gone? We already bought the TV. A lot of this stuff is stuff I don't even want. Who cares about this? Alright. That fueled my curiosity. Good on them for making it look like Windows. Thought that was pretty cool. Camsta said I just bought a TV in real life. Black Friday sale. Nice. Resembles Project Zomboid minus the zombies. So, Blues Guy will catch you later. Says he's got to step out for a bit. Let's see what happens here. Samsung Q8. I'm not up to date on TVs like that. I wouldn't know that one off the top of my head. Well, we should have enough for a full spin. Oh wait, no, we definitely don't have enough for a full spin. Can we at least get some bases loaded? A nice hit would be. Okay, so we got one coin. You're in the 6th. Okay. Well, now we should get something, even if it's a low hit. Only problem is we don't have enough to continue. That was our free dollar of the day. Atomic multi-chain transactions. That was what we talked about today. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did. Our old one had a line of distortion. Yeah, I hate when that happens. It was so slight. I had to show it to my wife. She didn't even notice it. And as soon as I showed her, she started with the, we need a new one. Yeah. You knew what you were doing. You're like, honey, come look at this line. Think we might need a new TV. I don't really want a new TV, but it could break at any point. Like, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're at Costco or some kind of Best Buy. Yeah, it's concerning what's going on with the market, to say the least. I mean, the show must always continue, and everything I said, I mean, about, I'll be here regardless, raising my crypto IQ. But it may be a long and hard road. That is for sure. And who knows, in a month from now, it might be Christmas. We might be pumping. And everybody pretty much forget about it. People have such short attention spans, right? They won't be scared a month or two from now if we get back. Even if it takes a while. Everybody will forget. Is what it is. And tomorrow is DeFi Gaming Friday, or GameFi Friday. Definitely will enjoy that. I feel like this monkey is the best. Why are we playing this game? For the airdrops. We're hoping to get those airdrops. Well, I don't know what I did. This monkey's actually like crushing it for once. I feel like all the characters, they don't get enough upgrades and they kind of suck. I do like this though. That shuriken slaps a little bit. Dang. Now I got nothing but green guys and not doing enough damage here. Really need that magnet to pull all this XP to me. So we are on the mission for chests. There's a chest. guess no more chests for me. Started off real strong, and then now there's just nothing. Still farming this airdrop. I hope it pays off. I had to spend like $5, so I mean, you would hope I could at least get that back. But who knows? I could see a lot of people, I don't know, I could see a lot of people not liking this game and not wanting to play it, you know, not put the time in. And that could potentially be to our benefit. Maybe we get a bigger portion of the airdrop because less people played for this. Oh man, I didn't even know the boss was in here. He got me. Man, that boss moves quick. Come on. One of the chests should have a magnet in it that would let me pull all of this stuff to me. Come on. I guess it's like the best item in the game. Makes sense. They have the same thing over on Darkstar. I certainly enjoy playing Darkstar a lot more, but I've given up on any hopes of them having an airdrop, that's for sure. Man, one wrong move and you're dead in this game. Come on, more chests. Oh, just barely out of his range. He almost got me on that one. Then they start shooting at you. Oh, I got a bomb? I don't know what no bomb does. No way. Oh, it only kills what's on screen though? Recover health over time. I guess that would be useful. Alright, out of potions. Need more potions. Ooh, don't walk into that thing. Yep, later, Camsta. Thanks for coming through. After I play this, I'm probably going to hop off. Super slow night. Is what it is. It's bound to happen sometimes. And we're going to still see if we can get this airdrop either way. Wow, I've opened so many chests, and I have not found a magnet, not one time. It's kind of crazy to me. They're not giving me what I want here in any way, shape, or form. Dang it. I don't got time for that Finally got what I was looking for. All right. Lifesteal, that would be helpful. Increase projectiles. Increase damage. Finally some increased damage here. Got some more chests. Oh wow, put that right on the chest. They knew what they were doing there. Oh, got another one when I don't even need it. Man. The farthest I've ever gotten this is to get to another boss, the next boss, and then I got killed by him. Come on, more chests. Wow, those shurikens hitting hard and they still not doing nothing though. Here comes the next boss. Okay, next boss throws bombs apparently on top of trying to smash into you. I've never really made it this far. Oh yeah, dead. I don't know how you're supposed to do anything about that. Gotta say, out of a lot of the games I've played, I really don't like this game. All right, everybody, I'm probably going to hop out for the night. Like I said, not a whole lot of nothing going on. I may jump into the voice chat on Discord. Maybe not. We will see. But either way, it is what it is. I still showed up, and I still raised my crypto IQ. Hope for the people who showed up, they enjoyed the topic for the day. Stay underground, stay crypto, and I will catch you in the next one. Crypto Ron out.